Somali pirates thought they could score big on the open seas.
An Iranian fishing vessel was hijacked by Somalian pirates.
But little did they know, there's always a force that doesn't play around. Hold your breath to dive into the wild tales of high seas, hijackings, and major miscalculations.
An Iranian fishing vessel was hijacked by Somalian pirates. The boat's name? FV Iman.
Trying to ride a tiger often ends with being eaten. Recently, Somali pirates hijacked the Iranian fishing vessel FV Iman with 17 fishermen on board in the notorious Gulf of Aden. Their plan? Use the FV Iman as a mothership to launch more piracy missions. But their scheme quickly unraveled when the Indian Navy's INS Trikand received the distress call. Wasting no time, the Navy launched a rescue mission.
ALH Dhruv choppers on board the Indian warship encircled the hijacked vessel. Indian commandos issued a warning to the pirates, asking them to back off.
Deploying a helicopter and a marine commando team, the commandos stormed the FV Aman, taking down the pirates and rescuing all 17 fishermen unharmed. The pirates were captured, proving that sometimes biting off more than you can chew leaves you with nothing but regrets.
The pirates were disarmed, told to move towards Somalia. The hijacked vessel was sanitized and released for onward transit.
Pirate pinch. Even the boldest pirates can't outrun the long arm of the law. On November 28, 2011, the Royal Navy scored a big win in the fight against piracy off the coast of Somalia. While patrolling the Indian Ocean, British naval forces intercepted and boarded a suspected Somali pirate boat. The operation was executed with precision, resulting in the successful capture of the pirates and the seizure of their vessel. This was more than just a lucky catch. It was a testament to the Royal Navy's relentless efforts to keep the seas safe. The pirates learned the hard way that there's no escaping justice on the high seas. Hijack drama. In 2009, the Maersk Alabama, a container ship, was hijacked by Somali pirates about 240 nautical miles southeast of Eel. As the pirates boarded using grappling hooks, Captain Richard Phillips bravely offered himself as a hostage to protect his crew. The remaining crew regained control of the ship while Phillips was taken onto a lifeboat. Tension soared, and U.S. Navy SEALs intervened, launching Operation Neptune Spear. In a precise strike, SEAL snipers neutralized 3 pirates and rescued Phillips, turning the ship's nightmare into a heroic tale. The gripping saga event inspired the film Captain Phillips, starring Tom Hanks.
Look at me, sure. Look at me, sure. I'm the captain now.
Ransom release. In October 2009, British couple Paul and Rachel Chandler were snatched by Somali pirates while sailing their yacht in the Indian Ocean. The pirates, demanding a hefty $7 million ransom, held the Chandlers in harsh conditions for over a year. The ordeal was grueling, filled with uncertainty and threats. But after a lengthy negotiation and a ransom payment facilitated by private funds, the couple was finally freed in November 2010. Their release was a huge relief for their friends and family, marking the end of a terrifying and prolonged captivity. Sea rescue.
The Indian Navy has rescued the crew of a Liberian flag merchant vessel. All 21 crew members, including Indians aboard the cargo ship, have rescued.
The Indian Navy sprang into action on January 5, 2024. After a Liberian-flagged bulk carrier, the MV Lila Norfolk, was hijacked off Somalia's coast in the Arabian Sea. The vessel had sent an urgent message to the UK Maritime Trade Operations, reporting armed pirates on board. Quick to respond, the Indian Navy deployed INS Chennai, along with maritime patrol aircraft, helicopters, and drones. Elite Marcos commandos were soon on the scene, sanitizing the ship and rescuing the 15 crew members who had safely locked themselves in a citadel. The hijackers were nowhere to be found, and the crew was safe. Not the ideal start to the year, certainly, but a successful rescue nonetheless.
The Indian Navy has reportedly not found any pirates on board the vessel. The rescue effort, it follows an interception by an Indian Navy warship after it received a report that the MV Norfolk had been hijacked.
Daring rescue.
My job as a humanitarian aid worker was to spread the word throughout the region about landmine safety.
On October 25, 2011, humanitarian aid worker Jessica Buchanan and her Danish colleague Paul Hagen Thisted were captured by Somali pirates in Galkayo, Somalia. For months, they endured the terror of captivity, with their release hanging by a thread. But everything changed on January 24, 2012, when U.S. Navy SEAL Team 6 swooped in under the cover of darkness. In a flawless operation, the SEALs rescued both captives and evacuated them to safety. After months of torment, Buchanan and Thisted finally received the care they desperately needed. Jessica later co-authored Impossible Odds, sharing the harrowing details of their ordeal.
With the blanket over my head, I felt hands tugging at my arms and my legs, and I started kicking back in self-defense until I heard, "Jessica, we're here."
Ship showdown. Don't tug on the lion's tail unless you're ready to run. In April 2010, Somali pirates made that mistake big time. They hijacked the German container ship MV Taipan, thinking it was just another easy score. But before they could even celebrate, the Dutch Navy ship HNLMS Trump showed up, ready to rumble. Dutch Marines stormed the Taipan, freeing all 15 crew members without a scratch and capturing 10 pirates who thought they were invincible. Those pirates got a one-way ticket to the Netherlands, where they were handed prison sentences and learned the biggest lesson of their lives. The seas might be crazy, but karma's even quicker. Paw Patrol. It's the beat that keeps the bad guys at bay, have this one. In a creative twist, the British Navy found an unusual way to deter Somali pirates by blasting Britney Spears songs. It turns out the pirates couldn't stand Western pop music, and the moment they heard Britney's best hits, they sped away as fast as they could. This tactic became part of a broader anti-piracy strategy, highlighting the innovative and unexpected methods naval forces sometimes use to protect commercial shipping. Who knew that in the fight against piracy, a pop star could be as effective as raw firepower? Pirate Odyssey.
The 6 Indian sailors held captive by Somalian pirates, languishing on board the MV Iceberg in what is becoming the world's longest ever ship hijack, almost lasting 2 years.
When the seas get stormy, even the smallest beacon can lead to safety. On March 29, 2010, the MV Iceberg 1, a slow-moving cargo ship, fell into the clutches of Somali pirates off the coast of Eden. With no chance to escape, the pirates boarded and demanded $10 million in ransom. As the months dragged on, the ship's owner disowned it, leaving the crew stranded. By December 17th, conditions were dire, with the crew surviving on meager rations. Finally, on December 22, 2012, after nearly 3 years, the Puntland Maritime Police Force boarded the vessel and rescued the 22 crew members. The Iceberg 1 held the record for the longest hijacking ever, but hope and rescue eventually came through.
First, for almost 3 years, we've never stepped on land. We got there, we got on our knees to thank the Almighty God for our life.
Pirate Pulse. Mess with the best, end up like the rest. And these Somali pirates learned that lesson the very hard way. In January 2011, they seized the MV Semho Jewelry, a cargo ship loaded with 21 crew members. But they didn't count on the South Korean Navy crashing their party. Operation Dawn 8 was a swift, no-nonsense rescue mission. Commandos from the destroyer Rox Choyong stormed the ship, taking down 8 pirates and capturing 5 more. The crew was saved and treated, while the pirates faced serious consequences. This operation wasn't just a win, it was a masterclass in Navy precision. Rescue Rumble. On April 8, 2017, Somali pirates hijacked the Tuvalu-flagged cargo ship OS-35 in the Gulf of Aden. With 19 crew members on board, the pirates thought they had the upper hand, demanding a ransom. But the Chinese naval vessel Yulin wasn't having any of it.
然后我们推进队第一时间控制舱面，迅速占领制高点，形成压制性火力网，守楼严密布控，确认舱面无海盗威胁后，配合交替掩护，前往安全舱解救被困。
The very next morning, Yulin Special Forces, backed by a helicopter, swooped in and took charge. They boarded the OS-35, freed all 19 crew members, and nabbed the pirates. The crew was safely escorted to safety over the next couple of days. Those pirates learned that messing with a dragon can turn your world into ashes.
在行动中，我们安全迅速控制商船，周密细致展开搜索行动。 彻底解除了海盗威胁。在整个行动过程中，我们始终把确保船员人身安全放在首位。
Tanker Triumph.
The Nigerian Navy ships in Opabama and Sabama have successfully carried out a rescue operation of a hijacked ship off the country's international waters.
In February 2016, heavily armed pirates took control of the oil tanker MT Maximus in the Gulf of Guinea, thinking they'd scored big. But after the crew's distress signal, the Nigerian Navy, along with regional allies, sprang into action. They launched a full-scale search using maritime patrol aircraft and naval ships, tracking the tanker down in Nigerian waters after several days. Special forces boarded the vessel, swiftly taking down the pirates and rescuing the crew unharmed. The tanker was safely escorted to the port for investigation and support. The pirates who tried to play big found out the hard way that messing with the wrong navy can leave you empty-handed and out of luck.
And I thank Nigerian Navy, a man who told me when the bullet was passing just 5-10 mm on top of my head. He said, "I will give my life for you, Captain. Don't worry."
Frigate fight.
The attack was unsuccessful. The pirates are using one skiff with 7 POB on board. All vessels are requested to report suspicious activity or possible piracy.
The German Navy's FGS Spessart, built for civilian service but now armed for naval defense, found itself under the influence of a 7-man pirate crew. With 40 civilian crew members and a 12-man security team on board, the Spessart was ready for action. As the pirates closed in, the ship's security details sprang into action. The real drama unfolded when a fleet of frigates, HNLMS Deseven, HS Sarah, SPS Victoria, USS Boxer, and Rhineland Pfalz arrived for the high seas showdown. After a tense chase, the pirates were captured and eventually handed over to Kenyan authorities, who sentenced them to 5 years in prison. Even pirates can't outrun a team that's all hands on deck. Dhow defeat. On the evening of March 17, 2006, the USS Gonzales, a U.S. Navy vessel, spotted a suspicious dhow with 2 small skiffs off the coast of Somalia. Recognizing the classic setup of a pirate test group, authorities ordered the crew to shadow the dhow while prepping for a board and search. As boarding teams from the Gonzales approached, the pirates went offensive, but a lucky shot from the Navy hit a fuel drum on the dhow, causing chaos among the pirates. Realizing they were outmatched, the pirates surrendered. The captain detained them, with the U.S. Navy walking away without a scratch. Tanker's tale. In the Gulf of Guinea, Somali pirates hijacked the Manyasa Reformer, a Danish-owned oil tanker, taking control of the vessel and capturing 11 of its 16 crew members. The remaining 5 managed to hide or escape capture. Demanding a ransom, the pirates thought they had struck gold, but they didn't expect the French Navy and international forces to respond with a coordinated rescue mission. After days of intense searching, the crew was freed and the pirates were apprehended. The 11 kidnapped crew members were found in surprisingly good health, proving that sometimes luck favors the brave. Rouen rescue. Sometimes the storm isn't the danger, but what hides within it. On December 14, 2023, Somali pirates seized the Maltese-flagged MV Ruan with 18 crew members off Somalia's coast. Despite sending a mayday and locking themselves in a safe room, the pirates broke in. The Indian Navy quickly responded, rescuing one crew member with medical needs. Then, on March 17, 2024, Indian Naval Commandos launched a daring 40-hour raid 480 kilometers off of Somalia, freeing the remaining 17 crew members from Myanmar, Bulgaria, and Angola. Parachuting in commandos, the Navy arrested 35 pirates who planned to use the MV Ruan as a mothership. The pirates were sent to Mumbai for justice, proving that no matter how dark the storm, justice will find its way. Diesel defense. In 2017, the Malaysian Maritime Enforcement Agency foiled the hijacking of the Thai-registered oil tanker off Terengganu's coast. The tanker, carrying 900,000 liters of diesel, vanished in the South China Sea, sparking a massive search. MMEA special forces quickly located the ship and boarded it, capturing 10 Indonesian pirates. However, 3 pirates managed to escape on a speedboat, and despite a thrilling chase, the pursuit was called off due to the helicopter's low fuel. Malaysia then deployed the KM Segantang to track the suspects, but they slipped away. The operation was still hailed as a major success, proving that sometimes just stopping the storm is victory enough. Merchant mayhem. Greed may set the trap, but courage springs it. In March 2014, Somali pirates seized a German merchant vessel, taking the crew hostage and demanding a hefty ransom. But they underestimated the resolve of the Marine Maritime Raid Force. Swiftly deployed, the raid force executed a perfectly coordinated operation, boarding the vessel and engaging the pirates head-on. The crew, shaken but unharmed, was rescued, while the pirates were captured and brought to justice. In the end, the pirates learned that sometimes the hunters become the hunted. Pirate prowess. In 2009, the French Navy made headlines by capturing 3 Somali pirates off the Horn of Africa. These pirates have been causing havoc in a region notorious for maritime piracy. During a routine patrol, the French naval forces intercepted the pirates, showcasing their role in a global effort to tackle piracy. This operation was part of a larger mission to secure shipping routes and protect commercial vessels from such threats. The captured pirates were taken into custody and faced trial, highlighting the unwavering commitment of naval forces to maintain maritime security. Pirate clash. Even the fiercest storms can't drown out the resolve of a determined crew. In January 2011, the Battle of Minicoy Island was a dramatic showdown between Indian naval forces and Somali pirates during Operation Island Watch. The pirates, using the Prantalay 14 as their mothership, were caught red-handed by Indian Coast Guard Dornier aircraft as they pursued the MV Verdi, a Bahamian container ship. The pirates retreated when they spotted the aircraft, but Indian Navy ships were soon on the scene. After a grueling 12-hour exchange, the Prantalay 14 was sunk, with INS Kalpeni and Coast Guard ship CGS Senkalp aiding in the rescue. By August 2017, the pirates faced a 6-month prison term, raising questions about justice served. Pirate detour. When pirates knock, don't just lock the door, bolt it tight. A decade ago, the Russian tanker MV Moscow University found itself invaded by pirates about 500 nautical miles from Somalia. The crew fought back with water cannons and flares, but the pirates managed to board the ship and hold it for 20 hours. The captain cleverly hid supplies and barricaded the crew in the engine room, fending off 2 boarding attempts. When the Russian destroyer Marshal Shaposhnikov arrived, it sent a helicopter to assess the scene. Despite attempts at negotiation, the pirates were detained. The Russian Navy then disarmed them and set them adrift in an inflatable boat with food, water, but no navigation tools, about 300 miles from shore. Pirate Showdown. In 2009, the Canadian warship HMCS Winnipeg answered a distress call from a cargo ship off Somalia's coast. Pirates armed to the teeth were causing chaos. The Canadian ship, part of a NATO anti-piracy mission, quickly sent in its Sea King helicopter. Just as the pirates switched targets to an American container vessel, the Canadian and an Italian helicopter swooped in. The combined effort forced the pirates to surrender, tossing their weapons overboard. The Italian crew boarded them and took control. Unfortunately, due to international law issues, the pirates were disarmed but had to be released. The Canadian Defense Minister vowed to tackle the piracy problem more proactively. Pirate Jackpot. On November 15, 2008, the MV Sirius Star, a massive oil tanker owned by Saudi Aramco, fell into the hands of Somali pirates in the Gulf of Aden. This giant ship, loaded with crude oil and stretching 300 meters, was a prime target for the pirates. They swiftly took control of the vessel and its multinational crew, sparking concerns about maritime security. Negotiations began, and after a few weeks, a ransom of around $3 million was settled. In a dramatic twist, the ransom was dropped to the pirates by parachute. Finally, on January 9, 2009, the Sirius Star was released, resuming its journey. This high seas drama shows how even the biggest fish can be caught by crafty pirates. Chinese save. In 2010, the Chinese Navy stepped up to tackle piracy in the notorious Gulf of Aden, a hotspot of pirate activity. As part of a global effort to safeguard shipping lanes, China deployed its naval forces for patrols and escort missions, keeping pirates at bay. During one notable event, the Chinese Navy sprang into action after a distress call from a ship under threat. They raced to the scene with full force, ready to save the day. Sadly, the pirates had already made their escape, taking all the loot with them, but the Chinese Navy's swift response ensured the crew's safe rescue. Even though the pirates got away, this operation highlighted China's commitment to maritime security. Greek rescue.
A Chinese destroyer patrolling off the Somali coast has rescued a Greek merchant ship near the Gulf of Aden.
In 2009, a daring rescue unfolded in the Gulf of Aden when Somali pirates tried to hijack a Greek vessel. The Greek ship, sailing through pirate-infested waters, sent out a distress call that reached a nearby Chinese Navy ship. The Chinese crew, quick on their feet, raced to the scene and arrived just in time. With armed personnel ready for action, they managed to drive off the pirates and secure the Greek ship and its crew. The heroic intervention not only saved the day, but also set the stage for more robust anti-piracy operations. The Chinese Navy's swift response turned a perilous situation into a successful story, proving that teamwork on the high seas can truly make a difference.
After receiving a distress call from the Greek ship on Thursday, the warship is protecting several Chinese merchant ships in the Manab Strait between Yemen on the Arabian Peninsula and Djibouti.
Pirate takedown. In January 2012, the U.S. Navy pulled off a daring rescue that could have been straight out of a movie. The Iranian fishing vessel Al-Mulai had been hijacked by Somali pirates who turned it into their piracy headquarters. For over 40 days, the captain and his 12 crew members were held captive, enduring tough conditions with little food. The distress call reached the USS Kidd, and the Navy sprang into action. A swift and decisive team boarded the Al-Mulai, capturing 15 pirates without a hitch. The crew was safely freed and given much-needed relief. The pirates were taken to the USS John C. Stennis, while the grateful Iranian crew could finally breathe easy, thanks to a well-executed rescue operation. Pirates' pursuit. In 2009, Somali pirates made a bold move to hijack the Norwegian tanker MV Front Arden in the Gulf of Aden. They approached in a speedboat, but the crew quickly signaled for help. The British ship RFA Wave Knight leapt into action, chasing the pirates. Soon, the Canadian Navy's HMCS Winnipeg and the US Navy's USS Halberton joined the pursuit. The chase stretched over 7 hours as the pirates tried to flee to Bosaso, Somalia. Eventually, the pirates surrendered. Although the Canadian Navy boarded the pirate boat and found weapons, they couldn't arrest the pirates due to legal constraints, so the pirates were released. A close call that showed the limits of international waters jurisdiction. Good offense. On December 17, 2008, a Chinese fishing boat heading back to Shanghai got caught in a harrowing situation when 9 armed Somali pirates attacked. With their heavy weapons, the pirates boarded the vessel, but the crew wasn't going down without a fight. They quickly issued a distress call, and soon the Malaysian warships Sinaraki and a military helicopter were on their way. As the pirates faced off against the Malaysian forces, who fired back with precision, they decided to abandon their plan and flee. Thanks to the crew's bravery and the swift response from the Malaysian military, everyone on the fishing boat stayed safe. Sometimes, the best defense is a good offense. Drug drift. On July 20th, 2009, US and Colombian forces teamed up for a major drug bust in the Pacific Ocean. They had their sights set on a ship suspected of smuggling a massive haul of narcotics. When the ship was stopped, the authorities swooped in, arresting 4 individuals and seizing over $165 million worth of illegal substances. The operation was a big win in the global fight against drug trafficking, showcasing the powerful partnership between US and Colombian forces. After the bust, the seized drugs were destroyed, sending a clear message to smugglers everywhere: the tides are turning against you. Stowaway standoff.
Italian special forces have regained control of a Turkish cargo ship that had been attacked by stowaways.
On July 4th, 2023, the Turkish cargo ship MV Kadir was hijacked by armed stowaways while heading to Naples. The crew was caught off guard when these uninvited guests took control of the vessel. Thankfully, the Italian Coast Guard and maritime security units were quick to respond to the emergency call. In a daring, high-risk boarding operation, they managed to overpower the intruders and arrest 4 of them. Unfortunately, 2 of the armed individuals slipped away during the chaos. Despite the tense situation, the Italian forces ensured that no crew members were harmed. The MV Kadir was safely escorted into Naples, turning a potential disaster into a showcase of swift and effective maritime security.
About 15 stowaways had moved to take control of the ship after they were discovered, but the captain was able to raise the alarm before being overcome.
Pirates parry. In 2009, Somali pirates tried their luck with a German warship FGS Spessart off the Somali coast. Armed to the teeth and approaching fast in a speedboat, the pirates seemed ready for a fight, but the FGS Spessart, part of the EU's Atalanta mission, wasn't having any of it. The German crew, backed by other naval forces, put up a fierce defense and sent the pirates packing. After the skirmish, they rounded up 10 pirates and brought them aboard their ship. The captured pirates were handed over to Kenyan authorities, who had agreed to handle pirate cases in the region. The operation turned a pirate's dream into a swift defeat. Unlikely collaboration. Here's a jaw-dropper for you. In October 2007, Somali pirates seized the North Korean cargo ship Daehongdan, capturing the vessel and its 21 crew members. The drama unfolded off the coast of Somalia, where the U.S. Navy destroyer USS James E. Williams was nearby and sprang into action. North Korean crew members, fighting back fiercely, joined forces with the U.S. Navy to tackle the pirates. The intense showdown resulted in several pirates being captured or neutralized. The USS James E. Williams provided medical aid to the injured North Korean crew. Remarkably, this operation showcased an unlikely but successful collaboration between North Korea and U.S. forces. Sky Rescue. When the sea gets tough, eyes in the sky make all the difference. In 2011, the Indian Navy sprang into action after an SOS call reported a hijacking of the Chinese vessel MV Full City. Within 30 minutes, a Tu-142 maritime reconnaissance aircraft and a Coast Guard ship were en route. The aircraft swooped in, spotting a pirate mothership and an empty skiff near the Full City. By broadcasting stern warnings, the aircraft forced the pirates to abandon the skiff and retreat. For over 3 hours, the plane hovered above, ensuring no more trouble came. Once the surface forces arrived, they secured the vessel. The operation showcased how swift aerial support can save the day in maritime cruises. Pirate Snare. In March 2011, the Yellowgate police made headlines by arresting 16 Somali pirates in a major crackdown led by the Indian Navy. This was part of a larger operation by Mumbai police, leading to 119 pirate arrests across 3 cases. These pirates from the Sulima clan were crafty, using deceptive tactics to lure the Navy into a trap. They had a notorious past, including the hijacking of the Iranian vessel Murtaza. When they attempted to hijack the MV Maersk Kensington, the situation escalated, resulting in the Murtaza's sinking. INS Suvarna swooped in, rescuing hostages and providing a life raft for the pirates. Tank trouble. In September 2008, the MV Faina, loaded with 33 Soviet-designed tanks, was captured by Somali pirates in the Gulf of Aden. The ship, en route from Ukraine to Kenya, had a crew of Ukrainians, Russians, and Latvians aboard. The pirates, seeing a golden opportunity, demanded a hefty ransom for the release of the vessel and its military cargo. The hijacking drew significant global attention as negotiations dragged on for months. Despite the high stakes, the ship and crew were eventually freed, though the specifics of the ransom deal were kept under wraps. This incident highlighted the high risks and complex negotiations involved in maritime privacy.
Behind me is where military ships had earlier patrolling in anticipation of the MV Faina. The question on everyone's mind being the ship's next destination and who claims the cargo on it.
Barbed barrier. Even without a high-tech warship or special forces, barbed wire can be a powerful defense against pirates. This simple but effective protection is usually coiled around the ship's deck edge. When pirates attempt to board, the sharp barbs make it difficult and painful for them to get past. This delay gives the crew crucial extra time to await help from nearby rescue ships or naval forces. The barbed wire acts as a tough initial line of defense, helping keep the pirates at bay until more help arrives. Open discussion. Back in 1927, the SS Irene became the stage for a gripping naval drama. The merchant ship, owned by the China Merchant Steam Navigation Company, was hijacked by pirates off of China's coast. The British Royal Navy, quick to respond, sent submarines from Hong Kong. When one of them found Irene, pirates were on board, armed with pistols. Instead of using torpedoes, Lieutenant Hallahan decided to fire the submarine's deck cannon. After a warning shot, real ammunition was unleashed, causing significant damage and sparking a massive explosion when a flammable part of the ship was hit. While most of the 258 passengers were rescued, a few tragedies did happen. The Irene sank the next day, but the Navy's efforts led to the capture and execution of 17 pirates. Thank you very much for watching the video. Do like it and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to not miss any of the upcoming amazing videos. Thank you once again.